everybody. Welcome to episode 13 of Sprites, Bytes, and Pixels. Feels like, it was just yesterday that we were talking about episode one, but that was already, 13, 12 episodes away. It's been a very long time that since we've been doing this. It's been a lot of fun. Once again, we have Russell joining us today. Wilson, what are we talking about today?
We're going to be talking about the Wii U. Last episode, we had Russell to talk about the toy industry and its how it goes with the video games and how they kind of correlate together. But what I don't think Russell spoke about was his other passion. He's a big fan of the Wii U. He's got one of the most impressive Wii U collections that I've ever seen. So we thought it'd be a nice way for him to talk about the Wii U and like the higher end, some rarities, shit like that.
Awesome. Yeah, interested. I don't know. What's show me first jab. What's your first question?
Well, so first off, the reason that I'm going to be I'm talking to Russell instead of Robin talking to Russell, I'm learning that Robin doesn't really know much about the Wii U. I don't know, like, you've never played a Wii U, Robin?
I think I played a Wii U. So my friends and I, we used to play Smash Bros. Religiously, and we used to play Project M on the original Wii. But once we switched over to the Wii U, I don't think we played a lot of Brawl. But if I ever did play Wii U, it would have been playing Smash Bros. With my friends. But this would have been like 6 years ago. I don't know what the timeline would have been. But I myself never owned a Wii U to play. I've owned some to resell, but never owned a Wii U to play. I wanted to go for the full Wii U myself because it's easy to do, at least at the time, for like the basics. But it was just nothing that I really found myself passionately going after.
Russ, how many titles are there out there for a complete Wii U? Like, for someone to get a complete Wii U set, how many titles would they have to obtain?
That number gets argued all the time. I consider it 163. That's like NES has Mario and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge, and then they have them as solo cartridges. Do you consider them as one game or two games? They have a combo disc like that for Wii U as well, just like Bayonetta on one disc and two discs, then New Super Mario with Luigi on two disc and one disc each. So stuff like that. Some people consider Star Fox Guard and Star Fox Zero two games. I consider that one. So okay. I can consider it 163, but you'll hear 163, 164, 166. It's around those.
So the numbers are still, roughly like the same, but
yeah, 163 around there is your low end. Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be counting the New York variants as part of the original set or no?
I count the games themselves, yes, but those are just boxed variants. For Mario Kart, I have like 8 different variants of Mario Kart. So yeah, I only count that as one game though.
Okay.
Yeah. What is your favorite Wii U game? Like, you've got a pretty big collection, but like, have you actually played the Wii U, or is it just like something that you enjoy collecting?
Both. Favorite game by far, Mario Kart 8. I'm still banking hours into that. I'm playing on the Switch now just because it's a little bit upgraded with the 2 items, and just they've upgraded a little bit. You get all the DLC, and yeah, that's what everybody else is playing. But that's my favorite, and then Smash Bros. Right behind it. Those two, hand down, best games. Yeah, and then Breath of the Wild, but I consider that more a Switch game, so it was released as a launch title for that, even though it came out for Wii U as well. And it's even inferior for the Wii U because it's got the map in your hands, which you don't have that on the Switch. So it's better on the Wii U, but it runs smoother on the Switch. But yeah, those are top 3, I'd say.
I really enjoyed the Wii U myself. And yeah, like how you were saying with the map there, like the Wii U did have these really cool ideas, but unfortunately, it didn't really catch on to a lot of people, and in the end, it kind of flopped. Do you want to speak about like why it wasn't as successful as Nintendo wanted it to be?
Because people made it. Well, I wouldn't say people. Nintendo made it sound like just a Wii attachment. When they had Wii Fit and Wii Sports, and then they made Wii U, it doesn't sound like anything new. It just sounds like another Wii thing. So I think they really dropped the ball on the naming of it. It wasn't the marketing. There was commercials. There was, like, I walked into EB Games, they had new games on the screen all the time. It was for Wii U, but nobody knew that you had to buy a new system to play that game, and then it was just confusing. So it never, to me, took off for those reasons. They had great games. They ported almost all those games over to Switch, and they're selling amazing. So there was nothing wrong with the games or the software. It was, I think, just the way they named it, to be honest.
I would also say that third parties really didn't participate that much in the creation of the games. A lot of these games were, Nintendo titles. A lot of these successful games, like you were talking about, were done by Nintendo. They weren't done by really third parties.
I think they did give them a shot, though. Like, there's a FIFA, there is a Madden, but there's only 13. And they didn't, like, Wii U was launched in 2012, so those games came out in 2012. They probably sold poorly and they didn't want to participate, and it wasn't easy to port over from your PS4 and Xbox to make it on Wii U or Switch. Even it's some games that even take a lot longer to make on Switch than they do on the other consoles, because it's just a lot harder for them to nail down the software and the portability of it.
So you got some items to kind of show us for the higher end aspect of the Wii U collecting. And I don't know, me and Robin have already seen these, and some of these are really, really cool. So would you want to show us some of these items?
Sure. I'll start with like the two, I'm gonna say more limited like items that are in the Wii U market, like a collectible market. But most people already know about these. They're the New York City editions, the Hyrule Warriors. Apparently, there's only 350 of them, between 350 and 500, no confirmed numbers. But I know people who stood in line, and yeah, they didn't hand out more than 350 tickets. So that's at least what was sold from the store. Who just knows how many more were in the back room? You never know, right? But yeah, so this is, at the time I paid $1,700 for this, and
Wow.
people thought I was crazy, and it's probably about worth that now. But I have seen them sell for as high as $3,500. That's one of the ones I do kind of, I don't want to say watch the value, but if I ever see another one pop up that's graded, I would love to put it with the graded Mario Kart that I have. So this one at the time,
that grade is really nice.
Yeah, I paid $1,200 at the time for this, and this was before grading was even a fairly popular thing. And people thought I was silly for getting this. Like, even Robin, the show that I met you at, I gave away a Perfect Dark N64 graded copy as a door prize, and I paid under $100 for that graded at the time. Like, nobody really cared about grading. It just wasn't something that was going to take off like it does now. Nobody knew Heritage or Wata was ever going to be a thing.
So what is in that Mario Kart? Like, what is in that box?
So the game, a box, and I don't know if you can see that, but a blue shell, a little figure. And if you are just a Mario collector or a Mario fan and you really want that blue shell, you can just buy the European or like the PAL version, because they didn't make it in the limited numbers of 350 of them. It was standard limited edition. You can buy that now for, I don't want to say cheap, but you can find it easily and just get that same exact blue shell if you want to just have the shell.
So what's the story behind these New York releases? Like, what happened? Like, why is it that they're so rare, and why is there such a demand for Wii U collectors?
So because they were released over in the PAL region and with these exclusive items, and we never got it over here. I don't know if there was an uproar and Nintendo wanted to try to resolve that by at least giving us a few copies, but they made it exclusive to their new Nintendo store in New York. So you had to go there and line up day of. And yeah, nobody knew they were going to be like, everybody knew they're going to be hard to get because they're limited numbers, but nobody knew they're going to be worth high end value down the road.
How much were they selling for? Do you remember, or do you know?
I can find out. I know, like, one of the ones that I bought in quite a few collections off of the one person who stood in line, and he probably still has his receipt, so I can figure that out. But they weren't expensive. They were like our standard edition, maybe a little more. Right. I couldn't see them being more than 120.
It's top end. Like, that's like a more than 10 times growth in the price of that game.
That's crazy.
The person I know went there almost 24 hours prior and stood in line. So there were people who, and he wasn't even near the front. So you really had to, that was one you earned. You really earned that one or paid for it. So yeah, that I didn't have the ability to go to New York and line up.
So what's in that Hyrule Warriors box?
Oh, this one is a little cooler than Mario because you get the game in the box, but you get an actual Zelda scarf, which same thing. You don't have to go to your way to get this scarf. It was not just European, but they made it in Japan too. So you can get it just buy the overseas version and you can have the scarf if you really want.
I'd rock a Zelda scarf. I actually think I have a Zelda scarf.
We have a Zelda hat and a Zelda shirt on, Wilson.
Yeah, I got a Zelda hat, Zelda shirt. I told you.
You'll like this. I don't mean to get up too much, but if you're really into the Zelda for you, Japan really got lucky. We didn't get this, but they had the Zelda treasure box.
What is that?
So this was the Japan Wii U version. It's got a treasure box inside of it. There's a book in here. They had like 4 different Zelda games for the Japan set. And I got all of them too. Yeah, I went for the Japan and European set as well. So I kind of got a little overboard.
How much does something like that run?
I don't know what it's worth now. At the time I probably paid more for shipping than it was worth at the time. I probably paid 80 for the item and like 60 for shipping and a little bit for import or customs, but yeah, under 200 all in. It's probably only worth that now. I don't see this being worth a lot. This wasn't hard to find. It was common.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I take a look at the Wii U, so me myself, like I'm not a hardcore game collector. Like I collect N64 and I collect Vita, but I considered Wii U because it's like such a small library to collect for. And I'm not as like involved in the Wii U collecting community, but maybe if you can speak to when you take a look at Wii U collectors, are they mostly guys like me who are like, hey man, it's an easy collection for me to knock off and it's not going to cost me a ton of money? Or is it guys that are really hardcore and they're like, I want the full 163 games and I want all the variants and I want the European release and I want Japanese?
It's more people like you who just think I can easily knock this off. So at the time I gained interest in completing my set, and when I completed it, I kept going for the variants and kept posting. I was getting new ones. A lot of close friend collectors got into it heavy. So Michael Turcotte, Bobby Van L. He's gonna hate me for that one. Ron Dean, Nick Vannon, all these guys finished their set within a month too.
What?
And they didn't go for the variants and all the heavy end shit. They might have gotten like the dark editions for the Skylander stuff, but they didn't go out of their way for like the sticker variants, the refurbished variants, and all that stuff. I'd say for people who are deep like that, it's not even 1 in 10. It's so few and far between. I could count the guys on less than 2 hands. There's maybe only 5 or 6 guys that I know who are as deep as me who want to get everything and have the need to keep going.
Why are you so deep into the Wii U? Like, what is it about the Wii U that makes you so passionate about it?
I was the same for N64. It was just I was too late in that. So every time I'd see like Rick Duell post like his like you know like the Shadow Man with the glasses and stuff like that, or like any of the games with a T-shirt bundle, the stuff that you wouldn't even be able to find these games complete with that, let alone a sealed copy of that game, let alone that sealed with that bundle. We're way too late to even find them, let alone afford them at this point.
Yeah.
So I had that interest in every game I kind of collected, but I skimmed over GameCube because there wasn't as much in that field. Like I got Pokemon Box. I went through that. Like Meet the Robinsons had a slipcover version. There was a few games that had slipcovers.
Oh, I didn't know.
There's some weird stuff for GameCube. I went for all that weird stuff too, but there wasn't enough to go for. Like it ended too quick. I wouldn't say same with Wii. Wii was never ending. The amount of boxes that came with controllers, the amount of DVD bundles, the amount of big boxes. Wii is insane. I could not space Wii. So I skipped over to Wii U because it was such a small library when it discontinued. But the variance is at only 163 games. It's a small set, fits on one shelf. But almost every game or every other game about that, I have as many variants as I do games. I probably have over 200 games that are not in the 163 set. That I have almost 1,000 different Wii U games.
Wow.
That includes all the variants. So there's way more than 160.
How's there like almost 8 times the original library in variants? That's insane.
I kind of went crazy. I got all the stickers like the Hyrule Warriors. I have just two of those. Mario Kart, there's probably 8 different. There's a red case, a blue case. There was Nintendo Select stuff. There was refurbished stuff. There was different UPCs on the back. There was the little sticker variants that had concession stand codes. There
How do
was
people come up? Like, is there a centralized database that says that these are all the variants? And then how do people identify that there's variants that are happening? And then finally, do you see new variants popping up like lately, or is this something that's kind of just been the case since the beginning?
I've been making my own database and just making spreadsheets along the way, and I share it to the group whenever I like. There's a Wii U North America group that's I'm fairly active in, and that is where whenever I get a new variant, I post about it and I add it to my list. And whenever people ask, "Oh, where can I find lists that are complete?" I usually share mine, and it's a public spreadsheet that I've seen other people share since I've shared it. So it's every time I find something new, I add it, and there is new things, but it's so few and far between now. Last year, I found 2 throughout the whole year, not including Shakedown's release. And then this year, somebody just found a new Rise of the Guardians, an $8 concession sticker versus a $5 concession sticker, or a tattoo and sticker sleeve. So I have 4 different Rise of the Guardians, actually 3, but I'm missing one. But that little tiny stuff like that is what keeps me going still.
Nice.
What are you seeking right now?
Pardon?
What are you seeking right now? What's your white elephant right now for the Wii U?
There's only 2 that I even know exist, but there was a 3DS and Wii U pack in test kit of NES Remix. So it's in a big black box that comes out with like a little cardboard case when you open it as a Wii U disc and a 3DS cartridge. So there's an internet article of a little kid getting it, and he was the one who got it as a test kit and played with it. And that's the only one I've ever seen until another collector that I know just got one. I don't know if people want me to mention names and stuff, but yeah, he got, I don't know if it's that one, but one. So there's only 2 of those that I know exist, but that would definitely be the hardest thing that I even know of to complete. So that would be awesome to get.
Well, you even showed us like a Skylanders box, right? What's the story behind that? Why is that?
The story behind this was it was released as a holiday bundle. So when you search this, it doesn't say holiday; it just says Super Bundle Pack here, the Skylanders Strap Team Super Bundle Pack. But when you search online, just the Skylanders Holiday Bundle, this will come up because it was released around the holidays time. But it was an Amazon exclusive, if I believe correctly. And the only ones that have popped up in the last few years, there's one seller who lists it all the time, but he sells it without the box. So he just buys the game and all the contents in the inside and sells it for what the boxes should be worth. And yeah, people are not happy when they receive that. I see a lot of complaints about that just in the group.
That would piss me off.
Exactly, because really people would just buy that box. It's really just the box that people want. Anybody can buy Skylander stuff anywhere, but yeah, that is the backstory on that. So I don't even know why they're so hard to find, or why I've been in Skylanders groups looking for it, and I just happened to stumble on it on eBay one time, and I've never seen another one since. It's just one of those weird items that I guess not a lot of people care to know about. There's probably a lot of them out there, just who knows Skylanders stuff like that is worth money, so nobody's going in their closet looking for it.
Yeah.
Do you own a Wii U kiosk, Russell?
Oh, that's one of the things I really want. Every one I see is popping up in the States. I've seen them as low as $400, but I can't go get them. Especially now.
The States are honestly loaded with kiosks.
Yeah.
Like you see Switch kiosk, Wii U, and they're so
all
cheap.
The time.
Like $800. I'm like, I would pay that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but it's going to cost me more than that just for me to travel there and get it. And yeah, I don't want to deal with that at the border. So
yeah,
it'll come up eventually. If I tried to get one and said, hey, I'm willing to pay this much for one, they'd pop up in a heartbeat. But I'm not in a rush. I even have space for it. I can make space for it right there. Yeah.
So how do you feel about the newer Wii U games that have since come out? since Nintendo kind of stopped making the Wii U stuff. You have like the Shakedown Hawaii, you have the Axiom Verge, those titles. How do you feel about those?
I love it. I wish they could make more. So I don't know if it was February last year when Nintendo made we're done making dev discs. So whatever's still out there in developers' hands is what can be made into disc. I don't know if they have to still get permission from Nintendo or get it approved, but there's no more Wii U dev discs getting made. So I don't think they can make more Wii U games. I think Shakedown is actually going to be the last game, unless there is a dev out there who bought like 3,000 discs a long time ago and already has the rights to produce it. I would love if that happened too, because like how big my collection is. I want to keep going. I'm going for after every little variant. I loved it so much that I even commissioned an artist to make a variant of myself. So the Zombie U, the bonus box, I did that out of pure need to have more, if that makes sense.
Tell us about that. So like what's the thought process behind is it bonus box games?
Yeah, so that stemmed the idea for it to be called bonus box games came way after the idea of the project, I guess. So I stumbled upon a distributor who had some old stock of large quantities of old stock of Wii U games that were, to me, large enough that you could buy. So I bought 1,000 Zombie U, and large enough that you could buy in numbers that you could limit them, sort of like what limited run or super rare does. Not that I'm trying to be them, but you don't want to just make 10 of them and say, oh, look what I have. And people are like, oh, I want them to be like, yeah, I don't have any more. Sorry. So I kind of went all out and bought 1,000 of those. And then I commissioned Rob Sachetto, who does zombie portraits, to do a custom zombie print. Since it's a zombie game, it fits perfect with that. So like you guys have both seen him for years at the same video game shows as me, and I bought in quite a few of his work before, and I reached out to him and he was amazing to work with. So once I got the ball rolling with the ability to buy the games in mass quantity and the work with the artist, I just started talking to a few stores that we know, Vintage Games and Junk up in Sault Ste. Marie, and we got games in Ajax. So once that all came together, I kind of had the idea as like, why don't I make a bonus box games, like an actual box to put all this in and release it so everybody has the option and make more of them if it works. Like then I can keep making variants for people like me, because it's a really small niche. There's not a lot of us out there, but even if I make 1,000 and I sell 100, there's 100 other people like there with me. I'm happy. I'm not the only one. I'm not crazy.
Do you not have one right now?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Do you not have one on you?
Yeah, so this one is mine on the shelf, but I have quite a few. I still have hundreds. I've only sold a couple hundred. I haven't gone crazy.
I'd like to buy one, by the way, Russell. I'd like to get one off you.
Oh, well, I will hook both of you guys up with one for just having me on here.
No.
So
we'll both buy one, so that now you're at 202 sales.
Oh, thank you so much. No, that's awesome, guys. Thank you. So yeah, I made an actual, well, I didn't make it, but I reached out to at least 7 or 8 different companies to make boxes before I settled on this. And I wanted really badly to make the zombie art on the front with this information on it, but I couldn't get the image clear enough as the art. Like it's weird when you're making boxes because they don't use just like scan and print. They use printing plates and vectorized images, so everything is way blown up and distorted and stuff. So it was a lot of working with companies before I was like, I'm just gonna make a standard box that I can put a game into that has a windowed front and have a little logo that I made up, make a little sticker that shows Rob Sachetto's zombie art is on there.
Nice.
And on the back of each one, I got security stickers. So you can't rip those off, or else they say void. But each one is numbered of 1,000. So 1 of 1,000, 2 of 1,000, all the way up to 1,000 of them. So the box I really wanted just to, in case the stuff that I was including, because I didn't want to open the game. I still wanted the game to be sealed. And I didn't want to open it just to include this. So what's included is this custom print from Rob Sachetto, which is
Nice.
signed. All of them are signed. I paid him to do all of those. And inside of each one is a certificate as well that has an embossed stamp on it, which all those are signed by me. Ooh, big deal, but they're all numbered as well. And each one comes with a poster of the exact print in case you wanted to hang it up.
That is sweet.
I like that.
So, yeah, you guys know Rob's stuff at his shows, like what his stuff usually sells for. So I tried to market it at a price that didn't seem outrageous and tried to not lose money at the same time. But yeah, I'm definitely not banking. I have to sell at least 80% of my product before I make my money back. So
What
it's
are
a
you
long haul to go, but I didn't do it to get rich, man. Like I did it to add to the collection, kind of dent it. I have my name just not piecing like a huge collection, but I'm piecing a little bit of history in it now too, and other people have bought it. So it's really, really exciting.
That's
How
the
much
best
you
part with
sell for,
passion
Russell?
projects.
Hey,
How much are you selling them for?
on my website they are $49.99, but plus tax, so they're just a little over $50. But in Walmart, or sorry, not Walmart, in Kamal and Mike's store, so they might be whatever they're selling them at is what they're selling them at. They might be a little less, but they won't be more. So that is always something to look forward to, I guess. But I do have, I don't know if I even should even show you this, but I have, oh, sorry. I have another 4,000 or 5,000 Wii U games, and they're ready for
5,000.
I got a few more projects lined up, ready to go.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
A
So
few more
this won't-
projects.
This
you,
won't be
man.
the only one. That's awesome.
Yeah, this isn't the only one. No. I instead of paying myself back on whatever I've sold, I've just funneled it back into the bonus box structure to do it again, because everybody who's bought it has actually, not everybody, but a lot of people have messaged me wanting to get the next one. They've asked for specific numbers. I've had people message me saying, "Can you sign this for me?" I was actually blown away with the response from the people. You always get some haters, which I knew that was going to happen. Like people are like, "You're just out there to get money. It's only like a $5 game, $10 shield. Now you're asking 40, $50." It's like, well, do you know who Rob Sachetto is? He's made bicycle playing cards. Like he's not just a small artist. He's huge. And I'm happy to join in with him on a project. So like I think it's a great price, and you never know. Once I sell at my mark where I'm happy, I can lower it. Like I'm not stuck on 50, but it'll never go up. I'm not one of those guys who's like, I control it now. I want to ask $1,000. I'm going to put them on eBay as auction and see what they go for. No, $50. Like
honestly, man, it's a passion project, and that's so cool that you're like rerouting the funds that you made out of this sale into creating more projects like that.
And when COVID hit, I made these masks. So every sale that gets one gets a bonus box mask.
Nice.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I just got those not too long ago. And yeah, even my sales on cards and stuff, I sell a lot of graded cards now. If you sell something that has to be shipped tracked in a box, I include a mask that says "Wear a mask, stay safe." Free promotion on me if they wear it. But yeah, it's a little more comfortable than the ones that pull your ears, because it's just like a neck gaiter, so you can. Yeah, it's nice. I just wear it like almost all the time.
I just realized you're wearing a bonus box hoodie.
Oh yeah. I had to make that up for. I went to 2 store like launches, so I kind of wanted to look at least professional.
Nice.
I tried.
Hey man, I think the packaging looks great, and like coming from a marketing background, I love how like clean and like minimalistic it is, and it's really cool that you actually took that like next level of thought process to put security stickers at the back.
I was wondering why nobody else was doing stuff like this. Like there's opportunity for other people to do it, and I'd love if other people even took the ambition to. I don't care if the game's like Just Dance. If you find 1,000 Just Dance or even 200 Just Dance and make a sweet box and find a sweet product to bundle with it, or even a coupon code, I'd buy it. Like it's gonna go in my collection. I'm a Wii U collector. Like I love seeing the entrepreneurship that you can have just by having interest in a little bit of money. You just have to try. So I love it. So that's I'd love if other people did it. So that's what I mean. I love when Axe and Verge and Shakedown came out. I wish they made them in larger numbers. Just like I wish I could have made this in larger than 1,000 numbers, but I'm not made of money. I spent like $40,000+ already on all this stuff, and
Why?
yeah. What? How much do you think 4,000 Wii U games is gonna cost, Robin?
I thought it was maybe like 20 grand.
A little, yeah. Well, let's just say the next game's not as cheap as Zombie U.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Do you have a timeline as to when you want to launch it?
That 100% relies on COVID, because I have all the games, I have all the bonus product, I have all the boxes, I have the certificates, everything's ready to go. I can put it together right now, but I'm releasing it through stores, and this one's going to also tie in with what we all met each other at a video game swap.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, I would love to wait for the ability to have those events again before I try to. I know it's just money that's just sitting there that I can't do anything with, but I love being able to support our local stores at the same time as putting a new variant out there. So I'm not getting out of the hobby anytime soon. It can wait.
Yeah.
I can do this whenever.
Yeah, nice.
Russell, you said earlier that
Sorry, time check, guys. We have 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
No problem.
Sorry.
You said earlier that anybody who was interested in the bonus box could go to your website. What's your website?
A few ways to get there. I kind of went crazy with the domains, but bonusboxgames.ca, bonusboxgames.com. But then when I started, I kind of got away from eBay and stopped selling not just my video games, but everything on eBay, but I tied that in with bonus box. So I made anything and all collectibles. So anythingandall.ca or anythingandallcollectibles.com. So you can find not just the Zombie U, but I have graded cards, single cards, just video games for sale, loose, singles, sealed, lots of stuff. There's a lot of toys for sale as well. I have there's a lot of vinyl records, a lot of comics on there, tons of stuff. I have thousands of items on the website. So
Rob,
what inspired you to pull your stuff off of eBay?
Fees was a big thing. So if you looked at comics, it costs you, even without a store membership, it's 25 cents to list. If you paid for a big store membership, it's 11 or 10 cents to list a comic. When you have 1,000 comics listed, you're paying $100 plus a month just for the fees of listing them. Yeah. So without any sales, you're paying over $100 just to have them listed. And sometimes you don't see those returns unless you have a lot of sales, because comics, in most cases, in my case at least, are $3 to $10. I don't go out of my way trying to get your golden and silver age stuff that's hundreds and $200. But some people might think it's a waste of time to list that on the internet, but people love having that option where they have low, middle, and high end. So yeah, that's what was a big thing that got me away.
Okay. Robin, did you want me to mute or remove the stuff that he said about his website and the items that are on there? Or
no, okay? No, go to Playcadia before you go to Bonus Box Games.
No. I have Playcadia is its own thing. It's a separate entity. I have only video games there, so I have nothing comic book related, nothing like anything else related.
Yeah, go to Playcadia. I will sell Robin some stuff. That's still, I know he'll be wanting this, right, Robin?
Oh my God, dude! I would jump on that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, the game on the inside sealed, and I know you're grading stuff with Lada. Yeah. So
did you just see the pants? Did you see? He's wearing
N64.
Oh yeah, of course. I had to dress up for the occasion. But yeah, before you leave, these are probably two of the rarest Wii U games that I own as well. But the last one that just sold was almost 5,000 Canadian.
$5,000?
Yeah, so it's a fan art from Mexico. It's not even in English, but it's an ES or B rating, so it is NTSC. But yeah, Darksiders fan art slipcover. People entered a contest, and whoever won the contest had their own custom art put on a slipcover and released in stores. So
wow,
I've never seen that before.
Only in Mexico. And then this Lego thing, yeah, it's impossible to find. You can find it on 3DS and stuff, but to find it on Wii U is I've only seen 4 or 5 of those now too.
All right, we're down to our last few seconds. So thank you once again, Russell, for joining us for this episode.
Dude, thank you for having me. I hope we can do it again. I love catching up with you guys. I miss having the game shows. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully with COVID, people start doing some outdoor shows. Maybe GameX this year will be outdoors, and I can get some people coming. But we'll keep that updated throughout the year.
If you need masks for your show, you can make some Playcadia ones or GameX.
Sadly, all good things must come to an end, and that conversation ended a bit abruptly. So I figured I'd give you guys, a little bit of heads up of what happened. We've been using Zoom, and we've been doing the free service, and free service only gives us a limited amount of time. So unfortunately, that conversation stopped immediately. But we did all talk after, and we did really enjoy the conversation regarding the Wii U. And I figured I'd just add a little bit to it. So first off, thank you to Russell Davey for, participating in this episode with us, not to mention the one previous regarding the toy industry and video games. What about you guys? Do you still play the Wii U? What are some recommendations that you would recommend to other people? And I guess in the meantime, it's bye-bye.